But if you are there as a Muslim, whatever any Muslim knows that he can do to you to help you to succeed, he can do it to you. That's something else. And if you are wise too, whatever you can do for Islam so as to lessen the burdens of the kind of people you relate with, do it. Because the matter on the day of Qiyamah is the issue of wazn between goodness and unrighteousness. So if you have used an unrighteous means to achieve something, and from it you can do some good things that you can hope that something good will come from it, why not do it if so the person is reasonable? So this is the attitude we put to that kind of a thing. Allahu Akbar. Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. Well, the issue of resignation is easy. You work with somebody, he's not paying you rightly, you say, I don't want to do again. You are going, no problem, go. But if you are not working, you must not get the money also. If you are not, you say, I'm not going to work because there is something you are not doing to me, then you should not be paid also, because the pay is for the work. So how do you justify the work that you are working and you are not paying? The work you are not doing and you are collecting the money? Except if that is part of your agreement from the beginning. That look, some parts in the year I will not work and you will pay me. You agree? I agree. Before you signed the contract, before you signed the job, I will not work sometimes during the year, 3 months. You give me holiday or you give me so and so. I will not work but you will pay me. You say yes, I agree. You sign it. So that will explain when students are on holiday and the teachers receive salary. That is known, jointly agreed to by both parties. But this one, do they jointly agree to it? That sometimes I will not work but you must pay me. I will not work that because your pay is less. I will not work but I will still collect the money. Did they agree on that? So that's just it. Allahu Alam. Alaykum salam. But specifically on whether teacher strike is right or not, bigger scholars should be giving fatwa on things like that. And unfortunately, those people don't care about things like that, whether it is Islamic or not. They are just doing it. Allah understand. It's really a period of crisis and fitna. So as less as involved somebody can, he should. As less involved as somebody can, because the more involved you are, the more dangerous, the more troubles you have to be facing, the more fatwa you'll be needing, the more compromises you have to be making. May Allah assist us. Can they prevent them from doing that? Do you understand what I'm saying? A military is saying a military takes over in a country. Another superior military say, don't worry, we will help you send them away. So he's saying, should the people leave the second military power? Do you understand? Like the superior power, say an American government, for example. Should the people leave them? The question I'm asking is, if they really decide and come and say, yeah, we are going to remove the people, can the people stop them? If they can't stop them, then there is no need facing them. Do we understand? For example, we are just citing an example. Country A has a military group of people that took over government from its civilians. Country B has superior military arsenal. And they come and say, we'll remove that military from country A. Country B wants to come to country A to remove the military that has taken over power in that country. So should the people of country A fight the military of country B? The answer is, do they have the capability to face the military of country B? If they have the capability to face them, they can face them. When the leadership in country A has been established by the second military rule. Do you understand? Because the leader is going to announce that they should come on jihad. Is it not so? So we follow him, because that's from the leadership, the position of the leadership. That's the next point we'll read next week, inshallah. If he orders them go for jihad, then we go for the jihad. Now, but if the country B is really superior in their strength, such that we know that, look, this thing is going to be mere suicide, the ulama will start advising that new leadership not to oppose the other one. You know why? So that blood will not be wasted. The blood of people will not be wasted in the country. So the Sharia usually weighs between sayyi'at and hasanat. If there are good things, it will prefer the more good ones than the lesser good ones. If there are evil things, it will prefer the lesser evil ones than the more evil ones. Do you understand? It had happened like that in the history of Islam. The Tatars and Mongols came and ruled the Muslim world. The Muslims were there. It was at the time of people like Ibn Taymiyyah, they were able to fight them and remove them. Even when it was not that they came once, they were coming gradually because they were employed as the police for the Muslims, amongst the Muslims. So they lived, and gradually they were, security will have more information about leadership. They will know who is who, what is what. And at a point in time, they overturned and became the leaders. They were fought in the end and removed, but not immediately, not until they were able to do so. So if we are able to fight them and remove them, we'll fight them and remove them. If you are not able to fight them and remove them, Samina wa ata'na, until Allah give us the power to be able to do so. Do you understand? The basic rule regarding these matters is which one is the worst evil and which one is the lesser of the evils. Allahu alam. I hope the answer is clear. The reason why I don't want to use America as an example is that they have hardly succeeded in any country. They failed in Somalia. They are failing in Iraq. They are failing in Afghanistan. They failed even in little Venezuela. They went. They failed. They have been failing anywhere. They say, oh, we are coming to remove them. They fail. If they go to Niger Delta again, they will fail. They will fail. You will see it. Because no man can try an Ijaw man inside the water. I assure you. I lived there for more than 25 years. They can stay under the water for days. They are waiting like this. They like this. The way you sit on the land, they can sit under the water like that. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. A little child, some people, we used to say like that when we were younger, that if they give birth to a child, before the child drink water, they first go and put the child inside water. See the child, and then they know the water. They know the water, my brothers. They will fail there. It is not computer war. When you get there, you will see. I think the best thing is that cases like this should be resolved amongst us, and people like that should not be invited. Where are those people getting the arms and ammunition from? It's from them. And it pays them that they cut off the bigger Nigeria, and the smaller people stay. They are still the oil that those people get, sell, and then buy weapons with it. Who is buying the oil from them? Who is selling the weapons to them? So those are the things. So they are the same people saying that we want to come and educate between two of you. You can see the hypocrisy, and that is the hypocrisy they have carried to all parts of the world. That is why I have not used America as an example. I have used country A and B instead. Allahu Alam. Now, the Muslims should prepare, the Muslim state should prepare power and authority against the non-Muslims. The Muslim state, the Saudi Arabian government, for example, or the Jordanian government, for example, because these are governments that are also led by Muslims. Egyptian government, for example, even when there is a lot of oppression in Egypt. Moroccan government, for example, is the leadership of Muslims. And even Nigeria, outside Nigeria, the Muslims count Nigeria as a Muslim country. Do you know? Outside Nigeria, in the Arab world, they count Nigeria as a Muslim country. They don't count Nigeria as among the countries of the kuffar, and that's good for us, alhamdulillah. So you cannot stand up and oppose that government. So if it is not in the real sense in army of Muslims, then they should prepare. They should get ammunition. They should prepare physically. They should also prepare in their akidah. It is not only physical alone. Their belief must be correct belief about Allah and His Messenger, the day of Qiyamah, and all the issues of akidah. They prepare themselves physically to face the non-Muslims. So that is known and it is established in the Sharia. So, but those who are, because there's regular army, those who are not in the regular army should not be behaving like regular army. Yes, you say, Wa'idulahum. Did you see Abdullah ibn Mas'ud jumping all around the street? Saying, Wa'idulahum. Some people start doing taekwondo on the street. Wa'idulahum. What those people were, because they were the scholars from amongst the people. They prepared the people in their aqaid, in their belief system, in their ibadah, in their mu'amala. So when there is regular army, there is regular army. If the regular army needs more people, they bring them and they train them to go and fight the war. That's normal. But when there is regular army, some Muslims are gathering saying, they are jumping all around the street. You think if America wants to fight you, it is taekwondo you'll be fighting? Is this taekwondo? So, wallahu alam, perhaps that's the area you intend. That some Muslims begin to shout around the street, they are doing jogging. They are jogging to fight America. It's not jogging you will do if you want to fight them. You start going and think about how to isolate a neutron from cement. That when you explode it, it can give you a neutron bomb or cement bomb. That is the kind of preparation. Unfortunately, all these kind of people, they don't have that kind of idea. It is jumping around on the street. You heard the companions of Pharaoh are jumping around the street because they are preparing for Kufar. Sa'ad bin Abi Waqqas was jumping around the streets in Medina. Or Abu Bakr Siddiq. The companion who didn't even have a sword, Ukasha ibn Muhsin. Ukasha ibn Muhsin was on the battlefield. The prophet said, yeah, Ukasha, you are on this battle? He said, yes. He said, Prophet, but I don't have a sword. The prophet caught sallallahu alayhi wa sallam from a tree and gave it to him. He said, fight with this. Ukasha ibn Muhsin killed over 6 to 7 people. The 8th person killed him. He died as a martyr. He killed with that stick. So if it is today, people, because of the preparation in Akida, not just physical preparation, he believed, when Prophet said fight with this, he believed that he can fight with it. If a person is told fight with stick today, when people are holding sword, he will say, oh, I should fight with it. You give me your sword now. Because the Akida is not prepared. But because it was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say fight with this, he knew he can fight with it. He killed 7 and the 8th killed him. And don't forget, he had been mentioned by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be from the people of Al-Jannah. Ukasha, the day he was talking about people who will enter Al-Jannah without reckoning, 70,000. He said, count me. I must say, yes, you are amongst them. Others come and they say, oh, Sabakokum, Ukasha. Ukasha had spoken before you. And that was how Ukasha ended his life as a martyr on the battlefield. A battle he went through without a sword on his hand, because the Prophet called people should come out for jihad. So success in jihad is not a function of jumping around on the streets. It's a function of what is your akida and what is your belief. That is the basis for victory. If not, there is no point in time the Prophet ﷺ fought people and he had the same strength of army with the people that he fought. Go and look at the history. They are always more than the Muslims. And Allah gave victory to them. So the preparation is not taekwondo and things like that. If somebody wants to do taekwondo just to be strong as a Muslim, there is nothing wrong in that. If you want to do isti'dad for kufar in weapon, buy gun, buy armory, buy. When you join people who are preparing to be fighting the people they are fighting now, I'm sure it's not taekwondo they are doing. One of them that when I was younger than this, I knew is their leader. I knew him, Dokubo. He doesn't, if you do stretch your leg, he can't defend himself, but he's the leader. If you see him now, if a British share staff see him, he will run away. The way he'll be dressed, full with weapons on all his body. You used to see him on the newspaper. He didn't know one single taekwondo like this. I know him very well. In the last Hajj he was there. He was in last Hajj. We were there talking. He had been saying that long ago, that Nigeria will see it one day. Wallahi, he's been saying it long ago. So when I say Nigeria don't they see him, I say yes, they don't they see him. Allah understand. Allah save us from these things. Our efforts should not be wasted on asabiya, ethnicity. The one who does that on ethnicity does not have any reward from Allah. Allah understand. Alaykum salam.
What I know, all these leaders, they do not come out openly. Let me say this and pray so that some of these things, some of this ideology is from government or the leaders. But what I'm trying to say now is they did not come out that this will not look about on that, but they use one way or the other. They cause people now and some of the deaths, like zina and some other things. What my question now is this supposed to say they've not come out and tell us don't do this. Are we still supposed to follow them or what do you?
The issue is simple. It's not obligatory to go for NYC unless you want to work with Nigerian government. I think the NYC Act, that is what it reads, Abi. That anyone who has to work with the government must have served as a copper, as a youth corps member. So you choose. You will not go and you will not serve. You will not have anything to do as a worker. I mean, working under federal FGN or state or local government in Nigeria. That's alternative one. Alternative two is to go and not to be involved in that evil. To go and not to be, just do what is not evil in what they are doing there and run away from the evil in what they are doing there. And people have done this one. This is what many people have done. That they go when they are doing one so night, they don't go. When they are doing so thing, they don't go. When they are doing so thing, they don't go, and they still perform their salawat at its regular time. Make tahajjud, do so many other things. So that is another alternative. But if you now think that I don't want to go, rara, okay, just know that you don't want to also have anything to do with government of Nigeria. If it's a decision that you have taken for the fear of your iman, Allah will help you regarding it. And I think it's the best position to take if the person's faith is as much as being able to take that position. Because there is nothing you do for the sake of faith except that you be tried regarding it too. Yes, if you say my iman don't reach so thing, so I'm doing so thing, you'll be tried regarding that thing. Ahasiban nasu an yutraku an yaqulu amanna wa hum la yuftanun. If you say my iman has reached so thing, so I will not do so thing, or I will do so thing, that iman will be tried. It's not just claim in the mouth. So if you say I have iman, I will not go at all, and I will not have anything to do with the federal government of Nigeria, you may live for the first 5 years suffering. Just be patient and know that the help of Allah will come. That is the best thing for the Muslim. But if you are not able to do that because of da'ful iman, go and then avoid the areas of evil. Allahu Alam. Now, wa alaikum salam. In the public. If the Muslim army is prepared to be able to overtake the other people, the established government, and they have the strength to be able to do so, and no problem. That's yes. Yes, that's our belief and reliance upon Qadar. It must be something that is followed with some practicality, that is devoid of emotion, and that is full of deep thoughts. You don't say that I even a single person, Allah can give him victory over 1 million people. Or is Allah not able to do so? Subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's surely able to do so. So it's normal. So 10,000 people can say, oh, we should be able to fight 1 million soldiers. No problem. But do they have in the real sense of it, can they think really that we should be able to face these people? So what the Prophet did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in terms of preparing the army, in terms of telling the people, everybody bring all what is in your house, so let's buy enough weapons. He didn't say, I'm prophet of Allah, I will just go there and tell all the people, all of you die. He can do so, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Allah wants him to follow the asbab, the means. So in as much as yes, we can have iman and say, oh, we can usurp power from these people, the means also, we should not forget it. If we have the means from our own judgment to that, yes, this means is capable, at least good enough. This means, is it good enough? You don't say 40, 50 people hold sticks now. The others hold Mark 4. You say it is straight to Asurok. There is easily suicide. You can say, in your mind, you can feel that this is suicidal. So someone stop this and they say, no, we have iman. We have iman to do so. You know, it is dangerous idea. You understand? So that's why Shaykh Abdulaziz bin Abdullah ibn Baz alayhi rahmatullah, he said the matter has to combine 3 to 4 things when you want to overturn a kafir leader or a Muslim leader who became a kafir. You now want to overrule him, because you know the Prophet gave istisna. We'll come to that next week inshallah. That except if the leader is a kafir with whom we found what he referred to alayhi salatu wasalam as kufrun bawah, clear kufr. So in either of these cases, you want to remove the leader. I said 3 things. 1, deep thoughts. Deep thoughts. He said 2, don't include your emotions. Atifa must not be there. The 3rd one, he says strong military power. Because if you say you put emotion and no deep thoughts, even when you have strong military power, it will fail. But if you put deep thoughts and emotion, if you put deep thought without emotion, then with strong military power prowess, it's most likely to succeed. They will now be praying to Allah, Allah, we have so, we have so, we want to succeed. Allah gives them success. And that's the essence of the verse we were talking about, that Allah said we should prepare for the kuffar. Do you understand? So the preparation is still very important, and the military strength is still very, very important. Allahu Akbar. Alexander, we'll make this the last question inshallah. Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. Somebody who is breastfeeding now.
Corresponding to the fact that she has another Ramadan has.
Ask her. Who told her that she should not breastfeed? She should not feed somebody before. Because the person who is breastfeeding, the person who is pregnant, the old aged man and woman, these 4 sets of people, they are to feed the poor. So they are under alladhina yutiquna. I say wa alla alladhina yutiqunahu fa fidyatun ta'amu miskin. So ulama say they are yutiqunahu, they can fast, but fasting is taqa, difficult upon them, as is in the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas and Sahih Bukhari. So these sets of people, they are to feed people on the days of fasting. The question is, okay, what if a woman does not know that she's to do that? She didn't know. She thinks that, like the Hanafiya they say, and Imam Hassan al-Basri say that the sick, the breastfeeding women and the pregnant women, they are under the marid. And he said, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ مَرْضَى أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَإِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ, that the breastfeeding woman and the pregnant woman should fast on another time. Do we understand? First opinion puts them under الَّذِينَ يُتِقُونَهُ, yani those that is difficult for them to fast. They can fast, but it is fawqa taqa, it is above their ability, it's difficult for them. So some scholars place them there, and that is the most correct opinion. But someone that say no, they are sick people. Imam Hassan al-Basri, he says, I do not know any sickness greater than pregnancy. Pregnancy is sickness on its own. So he placed them under people who are sick, who should fast at another day. The same thing applies to those who are breastfeeding. So perhaps the sister had held, the woman had held this kind of opinion, though it is the less correct of the 2 opinions. The most correct is the first that we had mentioned. So if the person has this opinion, what will she do? Do you understand? Allahu Alam, what she can do is to feed people. She can feed 2 people in one Ramadan. that one of them will be for her last Ramadan and the other will be for the present Ramadan. If she's also breastfeeding again, or she's now pregnant this Ramadan. Last Ramadan she was breastfeeding. This Ramadan she's pregnant. But she did not know since last Ramadan until this Ramadan that what she actually needed to do was to feed the people. So she can feed the people. She can feed the people in this Ramadan for the last Ramadan for which she did not feed the people, since she's still in the condition she was last year. So for one Ramadan, this new Ramadan, she should feed the people. The last Ramadan, she can also feed the people for it. After that last Ramadan, that she's in this Ramadan now. Allahu A'lam. We had said we were going to make that the last question. If we start opening Ramadan chapter now, go on talking about Ramadan. But let's not forget the issue of as-sam'u wa ta'a, that we must obey the leaders of the Muslims, even when they had come there from oppression. Must not disobey them. Yaradua say do something, do it. If you don't do it, it could be dangerous not to do it. So أقول ما أقول هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Jama'atul Muslimun. It is Jama'atun min al-Muslimin. It is a group amongst Muslims. It is not the Muslims. So, and it is the person that the Muslims agree upon as the leader that is their leader. So how many Muslims have agreed that it is the Amir of MSS that should be the Amir of the Muslims? How many people have agreed that it is the Amir of Micah, for example, that should be the Amir of the Muslims? Or Amir of a Masjid, or Imam of a Masjid, that should be the Amir of the Muslims? In fact, the use of this word Amir itself makes us understand that people do not understand what the word means. The word Amir. Shaykh Ahmad ibn Yahya al-Najmi, about 2 weeks ago he died, alayhi rahmatullah. He has a piece on this mashru'iyya of referring to people, every person as Amir. The legality of referring to people as Amir. And in it he said, only 3 people should be referred to as Amir in the Sharia. Why? Because the word Amir is like to say there is a man who is a wali of a woman. You know, once you say that a man is the wali of a woman, it's a word you have just used lexically. But in the Sharia, that word carries around responsibilities. So each time you mention that word wali with regards to a woman, it means so many things. 1, if you want to marry her, you go to him. 2, if the woman is divorced, she goes back to that wali. 3, if the person is to travel, if the woman is to travel and the man, her husband, is not there, that's wali, you can travel with her. So what we are saying that the word, once you say wali, it carries responsibilities. So it should not be, somebody should not come and say a brother is another sister's wali when it's not actually the wali that the Sharia understands. So when you ask, can this brother marry this girl? I'll say no, he can't marry her. So what kind of wali are you talking about? Do we understand? So when the same thing applies, that when you say Amir in the Sharia, it has certain responsibilities. So when we now say, okay, somebody is Amir, you now say, okay, call us for jihad. You say, Amir, I can't call you for jihad. Someone refuses to marry his daughter out in marriage. He says, alayhi salatu wassalam, that فَإِن تَشَاجَرُوا فَالسُّلْطَانُ وَلِيُّ مَنْ لَا وَلِيَّ لَهَا. When the awliya of a lady are in disagreement, the sultan, the Amir of the Muslims, is the wali for the girl. The ulama say he will invite the father of the girl and command him to marry the girl out to the person she likes. If he refuses, if the wali of the girl refuses, the Amir will marry the girl out. The Amir of the Muslims, who has the sultan. So if these people refer to as umara today, who are not actually umara, because the responsibilities and the attributes of who actually should be an Amir amongst the Muslims, they do not really have them, then you see that we have problems. If it does so, the next thing you see is CID begin to look for him about, begins to run from one masjid to the other. So where is the sultan? Where is the authority in their hands? So if an Amir of an MSS, for example, marry a girl out because her father says, no, I will not marry my daughter to a person that grows beard. So he's invited, please come. He said, no, I will not come. Amir of MSS of a school, marry the girl out. What do you think will happen to that Amir? if the parents are really people who are out for it, he's going to stay in SIB for many days if he's not careful, for months. He will be kneeling down and they will be begging, please, we will not do it again. So that really means he's not an Amir. If he's an Amir, he will have a sultan that once he says something, it is obeyed. If it is not obeyed, he does it in authority. And that's why he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, yuttaqa bihi. With the Amir, people begin to have taqwa. You know that there is Amir. If someone commits zina now, where is the Amir that will punish the person for zina? So, but when you know that there is Amir that will punish people for zina, people will begin to have taqwa. They will leave sins because there is Amir that will exercise that had upon the person who commits zina, for example. People, when they go to Saudi Arabia, for example, they don't like to go with drugs. Because they know that if you go with drugs and they catch you there, they will cut off your head. Because there's an Amir that will supervise that, cut off his head. Nothing will happen. And they had written it on the visa, as you are taking the visa, that if you bring drugs and you are caught, your head will be cut off. So it's not that I didn't know before. So if somebody does not have authority to do that and he's called Amir, so what is the Amir? So that's why the Imam alayhi rahmatullah, Ahmad ibn Yahya and Najmi say it is not correct for people to be answering that name except in 3 cases in the Sharia. The first case is the Amir of the Muslims. For example, there's a country. The country is led by one single Muslim. That person can be called Amir of Muslims. Or the Amir of all the Muslims of the world is still the same thing. That is one. The one who has political power, administrative power, and authority, who can exercise, establish punishment, supervise punishment, and do all these things we tried to mention. So that one is Amir, bima'na al-kalima. And it's legal that he is called an Amir. He is the kind of people the Prophet was saying, alayhi salatu wassalam, that man ata'a amiri faqad ata'ani. The one who obeys my Amir. So here the Prophet said Amir. So this kind of a person should not be disobeyed. And he is rightfully called Amir if he is called an Amir. The other set of person who can be called an Amir is the deputy of this one. This one appoints somebody, go to so place, go and be leading them there. He can be referred to as Amir. Maybe in terms of being a governor, or in terms of being a minister or something. He's an appointee, a deputy, somebody acting in place for the original Amir. The third person who can be rightly referred to as Amir is Amiru Safar. Muslims are traveling and they say one of them should be the Amir. He can be referred to. The Amir of a Ghazwa, commander of a war, is under the first one. The second one, that is the deputy. Someone is deputized that, look, this is an army, lead them to the war. So the Amir of a Jaish too can be referred to as an Amir. So 3 sets of people. The overall leader of the Muslims, the one who is deputized, giving the authority, go and exercise the authority, and the one who is leading the Muslims in a journey. These are the Amir. And even for each of them, even when the word Amir can be used for them, because they have been used for them in Hadith, they also individually have their limits. We remember the Hadith of the leader of an army that led some Muslims, some of the companions of the Prophet in the battles. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When they were coming back from the battle, on their way to the battle, he set up fire and told them to be entering the fire one by one. The companions said, we will not enter. We accepted Islam because we are afraid of fire. Are you saying that we should enter this fire that you have set up? So they refused. They did not obey him until they got to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So the Prophet asked them what happened and they narrated to him. He said, if they had entered it, they would have entered it. Do we understand? So if they had entered it, meaning if they had entered that fire, they would have entered it. They would have also gone into it. So they refused. Then he said that إِنَّمَا الطَّاعَةُ فِي الْمَعْرُوفِ. Ta'ah, obeying people, absolutely, is with regards to things that are right. So that's also making us understand that even the leader of the Jaish, he has limitations. The leader of the travel, of journey, he also has limitations. But unfortunately, the word Amir is used. So if you say, why is astunfirtum fanfiru? When you are called out for jihad, go out for jihad, and the person who will call you out for jihad is Amir. Someone comes out on the street, say he's Amir, and people are referred to him as Amir. He's saying, hey, people come out for jihad. Because the wrong thing first is that he's referred to as Amir when he's not Amir. And that same person, if the government who are really in authority, who really have the power and authority, they throw out Mopol now, you see he start running from house to house. Amir, so called. Do we understand? So it is wrong for people who are not umara to refer to themselves as amir, because that word is a word that we understand in our sharia to encompass so many meanings. If you don't have that thing, don't say you are. Just like you will not go and say that you are the wali of a girl when you are not her wali. Because to say you are the wali has so many meanings and implications. So the person who will invite the Muslims to a war is the Amir of the Muslims, the first one, who has power, who has authority, he has weapons. He can say, Army, Navy, come out, Air Force if he has, and start ordering, giving commands from one level of governance to the other. These are those who are our Umara, and that we have them is a condition for jihad. That we have them, that there is an Amir, is a condition for jihad. If there is no Amir, there can be no jihad, because there will be no body of Muslims. Every person becomes the Amir of himself. And that's why Imam Ibn Qudama and all these ahadiths we had read are also evidences for that. Is that why is astumfirtum? When you are called, who will call you? Amir. He said, Al-Amiru innamal imamu junnatun. The Imam is a fence for the Muslims. Yuqatiluna min waraihi. From behind him, war is fought. So it means don't fight a war when you don't have an Amir in your front. And that's why there is no war the Muslims fought in history of Islam without an Amir. So why is it that today Muslims like to go and fight jihad? No Amir. No Amir. Every person is Amir of himself. So those are some of the reasons that the scholars have explained that bring failures to some of those jihad. Because in the first place, there is no Amir. There is no Amir of the Muslims who is Amir that can take the responsibility of calling the people out for jihad. Who they will obey. Who if he says go there, they will go. Who if he says sit down there, they will sit down. Who if he says stand up there, they will stand up. Because they had already understood that he is not to be disobeyed. So, but when this does not exist, every person is an Amir of himself. So if you say there is crisis in a place now, in a city, and Muslims are killing non-Muslims, you just see that every person will do what he likes. Some people will kill people, mutilate them, remove their eyes, cut their nose, cut their ear. They say it's kafir, so they want to finish kafir. But is that permissible in the Sharia? Some people will catch women, cut their ears, remove their eye, and remove the child in their womb. Is it permissible in the Sharia? Some people will catch old men and women, kill them, cut off their head, cut off their neck, cut off their private parts, and say it's jihad. Is it permissible in the Sharia? All these things are being done because there is no Amir regarding that jihad. So this makes us understand the importance that there must be, and there should be Amir amongst the Muslims. When there is no Amir, the Sharia tells us what to do. So the first condition of going for jihad is that there must be an Amir of the Muslims. The second condition for going for jihad is that quwwatul iman wal islam inda al-muslimin. The Muslims must have quwwatul iman. They must have real belief in Allah, and their Islam must be right Islam, because it is a basis that they are helped. One basis that will bring about their assistance on that war front is the fact that they are Muslims as rightly as they should be Muslims. So when you see, for example, in Palestine, a girl wear jeans and wear t-shirt is stoning Yahudi, you say, wa antum, Allah says, wala tahzanu, wala tahinu, wala tahzanu, wa antum al-a'lawna in kuntum mu'minin. Don't be afraid, don't be scared, don't lose hope. You are going to succeed and override them, be victorious over them if you are believers. So we should be believers. We should have overriding. We should have victory over kuffar. Are you actually believers? Because he had made a condition. He said, in kuntum mu'minin. Sure, there's a condition. If you are rightly believers. What if you are not rightly believers? There will be no success. Because the difference between you and them is iman. So if the iman is not there, so what's the difference? It is reported that one of the Persian leaders came to meet Umar ibn al-Khattab and was saying to him that, "Oh Umar, before Islam, there is no battle we fight with Arabs except that we defeat them. Why is it that we are defeating them now?" Umar reportedly asked him, "Why is it that we are defeating you now?" He said, "Yes, before, when we fight you, we are fighting Arabs and you are like us. So the battle is the one with the highest weapon, the best weapon, wins the war. But now we are not only fighting you, we are fighting your Lord. So how do you fight and win you? When you are not fighting only you, it is you and Allah that we are fighting. So when there is no quwwatul imaniyah for the Muslims and their Islam is weak, then they have problems with their enemies. So one condition of jihad and its success is that the Muslims must be in the right state of iman. They must be in the right state of Islam. So the lesser their iman and their Islam, the lesser the possibility that they are going to have victory. If you now want to know the condition of the Muslims in the world today, go to Hajj and see them. You see people holding on to the Kaaba and kissing it like this. You see some people losing the ropes from the kiswa, the cloth of the Kaaba. They are losing it. They put it in their bag. You see some Muslims using their turban. They remove it and start rubbing it on the walls of the Kaaba. What will that one do to you? I overheard someone going by the graveside of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The sunnah is there, just say salam and salat to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and do the same to Abu Bakr Siddiq and Umar ibn Khattab and go. So he was saying, Ya Rasulallah. The police was saying, La udullah. Don't say that. Pray to Allah. This shirk. He said, shirk indaku. Tawheed indana. The person said, it is you that you refer to it as shirk. To me, it is tawheed. So you now say, oh, this kind of people should come to the war for jihad. Somebody who is telling Muhammad that, oh Prophet of Allah, please give me my child, give me money, he's praying to Prophet to give him money. He's praying to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give him what? In the graveside. And he's been told it is shirk. He says, no, it is to you that it is shirk. To us it is tawheed. So now this person goes for jihad. What is the success that will come?
Zero.
And the Prophet had said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had told us, وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. You are going to be victorious if you are believers. And this is a person calling shirk tawheed. So is that the one who will be victorious? You say, Muslims have been fighting these people. Are we not going to win them? Check yourself. What is your iman? What is your Islam? What is your aqidah? What do you believe? Who is the messenger to you? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We mentioned Ukasha bin Muhsin. Who was he was given a wood by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, take, fight with this. And he was fighting with it. Today, if you are fighting war, you see wood on the war front. You give to somebody, take, fight with this one. You say, hey, you hold dagger. You say, me, I should carry wood and fight. He will run away. Because there is no iman. Look at many people fighting wars. You see on their hand, liars. You see liars on their hand. You see on their waist. Some people say, no, they have an egg. If they throw it to the house will burn fire. And it is jihad. La. It cannot be jihad. It is rather something else. If the kuffar grab them there, they will deal with them. Because there is no difference between the person saying he's a Muslim and the kafir saying that. And that's why the ulama say the basic responsibility of the ummah now is what they refer to as at-tasfiyah or tarbiyah. Purify the dirty aqaid in the mind of the people. Purify their dirty ibadat. Now we are in Rajab, we are in Shaban. Some Muslims have been fasting since Rajab. Who sent them that fast? It's an act of innovation. So when someone does that thinking that he's pleasing Allah, Allah is displeased with it. This is the person who will say he wants to come out for jihad. Do we understand? Someone just is engrossed in act of innovation. And now he says, oh, they are kuffar. He wants to fight them. I'm mu'min. No, it is not for you. So the basic responsibility is purifying the aqidah, belief of the Muslims. Let them rightly believe in Allah, rightly. And that's why he says, Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatih. He didn't just say taqullah. He said haqqa tuqatih. Fear Allah as rightly as he ought to be feared. So someone goes to the sun and says, he's standing in the sun. What are you doing? I'm doing ibadah. I want Allah to like me. It is taqwa, but not haqqa tuqatih. It's not the right manner of fearing Allah. Because Allah has not told you to go into the sun, to stand in the sun, so that you can fear Him. So this kind of a thing exists a lot amongst Muslims. You see their ibadah, it is innovation. Many people are innovatory in their acts of worship today. You ask them, what is the dalil for that action? No dalil. Who this one you are doing? Which companion used to do it? No companion. So tomorrow we say, kuffar are killing Muslims on the road, they will come for jihad. Allah will not help you. because there's a condition for Allah's help. He says in tansurullaha yansurukum. If you help Allah, He will help you. So helping Him is to practice His deen as He has given it to you. If you don't do it like that, come out 1 billion of you, the kuffar are going to take a lead. Because the difference between you, what qualifies you for the assistance of Allah is Iman. Iman. And that was why the Prophet ﷺ, for 13 years, they were in Makkah. All he was saying, La ilaha illallah. Kul la ilaha illallah tuflihun. Say La ilaha illallah, succeed. Fakot. 13 years. 13 years. He was just purifying the people and changing how they think, changing their disposition to deen, changing their thinking about Allah, and all this, getting them to be people who submit to Allah. So that is the basic responsibility that exists today. If there is no Amir, okay, at least we'll be doing that one. Purifying the mentality of the Muslims. Because that also will bring the Muslims to think that there is need for Amir. But when their mentality is not purified, they think that, oh, if there's jihad, I can go and fight jihad on my own. I can kill as many kuffar. Someone was saying that he was in Saudi Arabia, he was watching the CNN, there was a crisis, I think it was in Kaduna. Someone was shouting, Allahu Akbar, and he's carrying refrigerator that he has stolen on his head. He was shouting, Allahu Akbar, and they were showing him on the TV. They were watching him in Saudi Arabia. Fortunately, the person knows Kaduna. He was saying that, look at this one. He's carrying TV refrigerator on his head, and he's shouting, Allahu Akbar, jihad. Allahu Akbar, jihad. These are part of it. In the jihad, during the jihad, is it permissible to be shouting like that? So they are going to say that is ganima. So that is about the next point also that we are going to read. That al-fayd, what comes out, the process of the war, are only to be shared by the Amir of the Muslims. Someone did that. He stole a qala, a rope, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet said it's in fire. He fought jihad, normal jihad, behind the messenger, the best of men. Alayhi salatu wasalam. But he stole a rope. He took a rope before the ganima was distributed. So each person does not take his share of ganima. Ganima is distributed by the Amir who invited you for jihad. So when you grab those things, you bring it to Amir. You grab those things, you bring it to Amir. You bring it, you say, okay, you take this one. You take that one. That one, take that one. But people say, oh no, it's ganima. So on his head there's a large and shouting, Allahu Akbar, jihad. So when the right mentality to these things is not gotten, something that people think they are doing fi sabilillah becomes a reason why they are punished by Allah. So they are thinking that they are doing something good. وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. They are thinking that there is nothing. Jihad, the best of deed you can do is Allah likes jihad. But this is not jihad, even by the text of Quran and Hadith. So the first condition for jihad is there must be Amirul Mu'minin. The second condition for jihad is that there must be quwwatul Islam or quwwatul Iman wal Islam in the Muslimin. There must be strong Islam, strong deen, and that is known by obedience to Allah and His Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, and going away from what they say we should go away from. Look at the Ghazwa of Uhud. Just one instruction. Stay here, they did not stay there. And look at the impact on the Ummah. For Ghazwatul Uhud, many Muslims died. But still, in the overall, because they were with the best of men, the scholars report that in all the battles fought by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, both on the sides of the Muslims and the non-Muslims, those who died are not up to 1,500. In the battles fought by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the people who have died, they are not up to 1,500. Ibn Kathir mentioned it in Al-Bidayah wa Nihaya. The people who died on the battlefield are not up to 1,500. But thereafter, how many have died in wars? Yeah. So we need to make sure that in this, a lot of effort has to go on teaching Aqidah of Islam, encouraging people. Those falsely believed people have had, remove it from their heads. People go to Hajj, you see many shirkiyat. Hajj is supposed to be one of the epitomes of Tawheed. But people go there and still practice shirk. Muslims. So it means that there is a lot to do regarding the ideas of Muslims. Their thoughts about Allah, their thoughts about the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, their thoughts about ibadat and how actually they perform the ibadah. Huzaifa ibn al-Yaman one day was in the masjid. He saw an old man performing the salah. He asked him, for how many years have you been performing salah like this? I think he said for about 20 years. He said, if you perform this salah like this for 50 years, Allah will not accept the salah. Salat. So how many Muslims now just sit down and watch? The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. The hadith of Malik ibn Huwairis. Imam Bukhari reported the hadith. Go. Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. What about the one who has been prayed other than the way the Prophet prayed? Has he been praying? So when they say jihad, you will come out too. I want to go for jihad. Where is your salat? Where is your zakat? Look at the Muslims of this world, how of this country, especially how they have been regarding zakat. Very few number of people have been paying zakat, and many people are qualified to pay zakat, but they have not been paying the zakat. People have not been paying zakat, and it is for the same reason that Abu Bakr and Siddiq fought some people. So you must pay this zakat. Khuz min amwalihim sadaqatan tutahhiruhum wa tuzakkihim biha wa salli alayhim inna salataka sakanun lahum. La nu'addi az-zakata illa liman kana salatuhu sakanun lana. People say, yes, Allah said so, but we will not pay zakat to anyone except the one that Allah said He's praying for us, is sakina, is tranquility for us. So they refused to pay zakat to Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr he said, Wallahi, la ufarriku bayna as-salati wa zakat, la aqtulanna man farraqa bayna as-salati wa zakat. I will not make any difference in salah and zakat. If you refuse to pay zakat, I will fight you. He started fighting them. They came back and started paying zakat. Today, many people don't pay zakat, and they are comfortable with it. If they say come out for jihad now, they say jihad, fi sabilillah, they are shouting jihad. So our Islam must be in right place. Our Islam must be in its right place, so that it will not be an empty shout for jihad, jihad, jihad. The third matter regarding which the Muslims have to have before a call for jihad is al-qudratu wa-taqa. Al-qudra, the ability, the taqa, the power to be able to fight for it, go on for the jihad, the power and the ability to be able to go out for that jihad. So they say, oh, the US Army has invaded some Muslims somewhere, and the Amir says, let's go out for jihad. But they don't have the means. They can't even go. Don't we know that these are the reasons why the Muslims were not permitted to fight jihad in Makkah? Ability. They did not have the ability in Makkah. So he did not say they should fight. If they say, oh, they are present, say, be patient. The Nāsir of Allah will still come. If they say, there is trouble, say, be patient. The Nāsir of Allah will still come. Until he said to them, subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Uzina lillazina yuqatalu bi annahum zulim. Permission has been given. It meant that before that time there was no permission for them to go for jihad. Why was there no permission? They could not even perform salah in the public. They could not even pray in the public. They could not even read the Quran in public. But today we are praying in public. We are reading Quran in public. We are doing so many things in public. So, but still, where is the power? They say go out for the jihad, and where is it? Many of the people go into the house and bring sticks out. Despite the fact that that preparation is a state preparation. It's necessarily a state preparation. And that is why whenever the Prophet is going to battles with his companions, he does not say just individuals should bring their weapons. People who also have wealth will bring their wealth with which weapons will be procured. So it means that procuring armaments for jihad is a state responsibility, not necessarily an individual responsibility. Individuals add to it, but it's a basic responsibility of the state. It is a Muslim state that has an Amir that will prepare and say, okay, get this ready, get that ready. There are naval officers, there are this and that, and prepare the forces for the Muslims. And that was why Nabi Isa alayhi salam, to make us understand that there must be ability to confront those people. Nabi Isa alayhi salam, the Prophet told us about him and Masih Dajjal. After he kills Masih Dajjal, after he kills Masih Dajjal, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, this hadith is also in Riyadh Sahih, Bukhari Muslim, muttafaqun alayhi. The hadith of Nāsir ibn Sam'ah, very lengthy hadith of Masih Dajjal. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that Allah will inspire Nabi Isa alayhi salam. He will say to him that I have released some of my servants, some of my creatures, referring to Yajuj and Majuj. He said there is no power, no person can fight them, so don't attempt to fight them. Take my servants to Mount Tor, run away to Mount Tor. This was the same Nabi Isa that fought Masih Dajjal. Do you understand? But this was the same Nabi Isa that Allah said, don't attempt to fight these ones. So run away to Mount Tor with the Muslims that are together with you. This makes us understand. Allah told him that you will not be able to fight them. This makes us understand that ability to be able to fight a group of people is a condition for jihad. Okay, when you are not able to fight them, what do? You migrate away from them. Because that's one of it. The Muslims migrate away. They left all their houses and belongings in Makkah. They could have said, no, we are not going to agree and draw their swords. But they were not permitted to do that because it would be suicidal to do that in Makkah. So Allah said, don't. Except those who are not able to go. So this makes us understand that three things are very, very fundamental when people talk about jihad. The first one is their Aqidah and their Islam. The second one is that there must be an Amir. The third one is that there must be ability to fight that war. Various things have been explained, and the narrations that establish them from the Sunnah is established. So when we say scholars are not calling people to go and fight jihad, to go and fight who? Where is the Amir? Who is the leader? And where is the strength? These three things must be completed before the jihad is done. When the people now fight the jihad, when these three things are not complete, it's like somebody performing salah without wudu. When people go for jihad without Amir, they go for jihad, they call it jihad, without Islam and Iman. If they go for jihad without ability to fight the war, it's like someone performing salah without wudu. He does not have the salah. You go, he doesn't have. He came to ask the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is it that is fighting jihad on Islam? What did he say? He said, so and so, the one who fights that the one who fights because the kalima of Allah comes manifest. So if he wants to fight that the kalima of Allah comes manifest over kalimat, then you have to go in the manner that he says you should go, in the conditions that he says you should follow, before you say you attempt to fight the jihad. So Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal alayhi rahmatullah says, well, that's what that jihad, fighting the Muslim, fighting kuffar, he said, Ma'bin ma'al umara, it is established, it is continuous, but with the condition that it must be with the umara. And we have said not just that, we added two other conditions that the ulama have added, and that will continue until the day of Qiyamah. That hadith of Nabi Isa alayhi salam is another reason that there will be jihad until the end of time. But it was the jihad that Nabi Isa alayhi salam will conquer Nāsir Dajjal and the forces of Dajjal. Don't forget that there are about 100,000 soldiers from Asfahan that will come in Nāsir Dajjal from among the Jews. And some of them will be these people will fought and be killed by the Muslims. That is also jihad, and it makes us understand that it will continue till that time. So these are from what the Imam said earlier. So we are going to follow that Amir al-Barri wal-Fajr, whether the Amir is a righteous person or an unrighteous person. You don't say, oh, the Amir that is drinking alcohol, he called me for jihad. I won't go for jihad. Go for jihad. Why is that still fair to? When you are called out for jihad, go for jihad. Don't say, oh no, it's so Amir that called me and I will not go. La yutra. The Amir is not going to be abandoned. Or you can say, La yutra. Jihad should not be abandoned. It should not be abandoned. Whenever the Lord pay for it, you go for jihad. The next point, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal said, وَقِسْمَةُ الْفَيْءِ, the distribution of the booties of war. He started with that. He said, وَقِسْمَةُ الْفَيْءِ وَإِقَامَةُ الْحُدُودِ إِلَى الْأَئِمَّةِ مَاضٍ لَيْسَ لِأَحَدٍ أَنْ يَفْعَلَ عَلَيْهِ وَلَا يُنَازِعَهُ. He said, قِسْمَةُ الْفَيْءِ, the distribution of what we now get from non-Muslims in a battle, after the battle, the distribution of that, وَإِقَامَةُ الْحُدُودِ, and then establishing Hajj. Someone commits zina, stoning to death. if he's married, but someone commits zina, is not married, flog him 100 strokes. Someone commits, he steals what is up to dinar, or it's a cut of his hands. And this is Sunnah on the side. It's a cut of his hands. And so all these, the result of stealing. Someone commits it, cut off his hand. All these are what are referred to as hudud. So the establishment, the enforcement of that hudud must be done by the Amir. You know, we're saying that if you want to say somebody is Amir, he must be able to do all these things. Why he's not able to do all these things, don't call him Amir. He's not suitable to be referred to as Amir in the language of the Sharia. If it's not Amir, why just wasting their time? Because they don't understand the Sharia. They refer to someone who does not have that ability as Amir. In the schools, there everybody's Amir. Even in secondary schools, there are Amirs. Amirs of LSs, Amir of Lubas, Amir of Mike, Amir of... All these Umara, they do not have the right to be referred to as Umara. They are referring to them illegally. We discussed that earlier. So we say that Qismatul Faith, the distribution of the booties of war, wa iqamatul hududi, and to enforce punishment when somebody falls prey, when somebody fails in the rule. He said, Laysa li ahadin. He said, illa al-a'immati madin, that it is continuously and forever it will be with the a'imma. That is, it is forever the duties of the a'imma. This is where some of the scholars say that it is wrong for people to hear that somebody abused the Prophet, go and kill him. Somebody abused the Prophet, just go to him and cut his head. It's not right. Such persons are to be reported to the authorities that will take care of the hudud. Just like somebody kills someone, don't kill the person. If you kill the person, someone else comes and kills you. Someone comes and kills you. It will bring about the spread of the killing of the Muslims. So people take people who go against the laws of the Sharia to the authority that will establish the had upon them. You see somebody committing zina with the other person, you say, grab them, hey, I grab you committing zina. If you are the only one, just go your way. If you are the only one, just go your way. Except if the woman is your wife. You go for the hand. How would you like? The husband and the wife swear. That is, if the woman denies that she did not commit sin, then they go for the hand. Even that the hand, who will establish it upon them? The umara, the people who have the authority to establish that. Because one of what happens after the hand is talaq. The man and the woman do not go back to themselves again. But if it is not your wife, then just go away. Except you can look for 3 other persons together with you who will see tada, or who will see the column, that is the pen in the ink container. You understand what I mean? So when they see it like that with you, you have a case. But when they don't see it like that with you, you have not been able to establish evidence. And people will be flogged for saying that people do that when they cannot establish evidence. So if you go and carry somebody, no, so and so commits zina. So who will be the person who will establish the law? You take them to the authority of the Muslims. So if someone says, I'm Amir of the Muslims, they take a Muslim, A'udhu-Billah, a Muslim that commits zina, A'udhu-Billah, and they take it to him. What will he do to them? Some people say, lie them down the mosque and flog them. Who give you the authority to do that to them? That authority only lies in the hands of you and Hakim. This is what the Imam says, alayhi rahmatullah. When he says these matters, he said, Ila al-a'immati madin. It is the right of the a'imma. It is the duty, the job of the a'imma to enforce these rules of Sharia. He said, Laysa li ahadin an yat'ana alayhim. No one should come and say, look at the Amiru. They are not enforcing the hudud again. Or look at the Amir, he was not fair in your exercising it. Or look at the Amir, he did not do that. Oh, when he is distributing it, he gave 2 to his family people, he gave 1 to the rest of the people. He said, Laysa li ahadin an yat'ana alayhim. Someone did that to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For example, the leader of the Khawarij, some booties of war were brought from Yemen to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet by Ali radiallahu anhu, and the Prophet was distributing it to people. He was giving some people. So he went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This hadith is said, say, Ya Muhammad, oh Muhammad, be fair, because you are not fair. The Prophet asked him, if I am not fair, who will be fair? In some riwayat he says, I have been taken as an Amin from above the heavens. You know how? Because he was giving the Quran. And he made Ada'ul Amana. So I have been made Amin by the one from the heavens giving the book. Why you on earth? Why will you not take me? Why will you not trust me? So this kind of Quran, we should not make it to the Amir. He also made it to Uthman bin Affan. The Amir is the one who is distributing the money, the wealth of the Muslims, only for his family. And because of that, they killed Uthman bin Affan. So when that happens, there will be facade in the land. So even when you see that just go your way, the best you can do is behind the closed doors, advise them. Perhaps you should revisit this matter. Al-Abab al-Nasiha. Just like somebody making Nasiha today. Not Al-Abab al-Ta'qib. Not somebody criticizing him and calling the people to rise up against the as some of the people are wants to do it on the member. Today people go to the member, they start shouting. Some people stole the money, some people do the EFCC, some people do that. We don't have such rights to show against the leaders of the Muslims. So Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal said, لَيْسَ لِأَحَدٍ أَنْ يَطْعَنَ عَلَيْهِمْ. Nobody has the right to accuse these people وَلَا يُنَازِعَهُمْ and contest it. So not only we will distribute this one, no, we will distribute it together, don't contest it. Oh, this legal rule, no, that person was guilty of sin. The punishment should be carried out upon the person, don't contest it. Leave the matter with the Amir. And the evidence for leaving those matters to the Amir, not for contesting those things with them, is picked by this Imam from the hadith of Ubadah ibn Samit radiyallahu anhu, that Imam Bukhari and Muslim have both reported in their books of Sahih. Ubadah ibn Samit radiyallahu anhu said, Bayana Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam ala sam'i wa ta'ati. We took both of allegiance from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam ala sam'i wa ta'ati, that we will hear and that we shall obey fil usri wal yusr, whether the situation is fil usr, difficult for us, or fil yusr, or easy for us. Something is difficult for us, we still obey it. It's easy for us, we still obey it. People say, no, me I can't obey, I'm tired now, though. No, don't do that. The Amir I'm saying, I still repeat it and repeat it. I'm not talking about Amir of NSS, or Amir of society, or Amir of masjid, or Amir that people use today that are not Umara. They just refer to themselves like that, like somebody who wears a gown, showing that he is something that he is not. Those are not the ones that I'm referring to. Because people can go to, it happens in schools. Someone went to school as a student, as a Muslim, he's a Muslim. When the Muslims are doing things that are Islamic, he joins them and they do it together. They are doing our program, he joins them, they do our program together. Because Allah says, Ta'awanu ala al-birri wa taqwa, wa la ta'awanu ala al-ithmi wal udwan. Cooperate with yourselves upon righteousness and the fear of Allah. Do not cooperate upon sins. People are saying that something is bad and they are saying it in the right manner. He joins them and together he says to them, this thing is bad, can we change it, can we do that, can we do that? He joins them in making Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar whenever they are doing. But someone has a personal problem, maybe he's sick, and the head of the student says, hey, come, tell me I'm sick, I can't come now. He said, no, you must come. Don't you hear Usool-u-Sunnah? I will tell you this hadith is not for you. Usool-u-Sunnah is not for you. Or they give a command that you are not pleased with for some certain reasons also established in the Sharia, and you just keep away. You say, I want to keep away. So as I know, regarding what you like and what you don't like, you must follow. You tell you this makrai wa manshati that you are putting that for you is not for you. The Amir referred to here is not you. People say, oh, your sister is married. She did not tell us the day she will marry, so no brother should go there. Anyone who will be Allah is message should not go. You tell it's not for you. that authority, you don't have it. We are only here as leader to lead Muslims in Salah when we want to pray inside instead. Lead us. Alas. But to say Makrai wa Manshati is not for you. The Amir referred to in these ahadith are those ones that we have explained at the beginning. They are the leaders of the Muslims, not those who are leaders of the side. Who do not really have sort of the authority with them. So he said they took that oath of allegiance to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, وَأَلَّا نُنَازِعَ الْأَمْرَ أَهْلَهَا. He said, وَأَلَّا نُنَازِعَ الْأَمْرَ أَهْلَهُ. And that we took oath of allegiance to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we are not going to contest the authority with the people of authority. So when people say distribute the booties of war, I will not be, why should they distribute it like that? There is no place of yours. Oh, Muhammad, fear Allah. Fear Allah. People used to do that. Fear Allah. Fear Allah. But if I don't fear Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who will fear Allah? Don't forget, he has told us, Anna, Sayyidu waladi Adam wala fakhar. I'm the leader of all men, and I'm not proud. All human beings are their leader. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ulama say he's telling us, but if he does not tell us, who will tell us? There's no Nabi after him who will come and say, you see that Muhammad that has gone, he's the leader of all human beings, so he has to tell us from what he does. Alayhi salatu wasalam. So this makes us understand that those matters we are not going to contest it. In this hadith of Ubadah ibn Samit, the Prophet said, وَإِنْ بَغَوْا عَلَيْنَا. Even when they oppress us, لَا نُنَازِعَ أَهْلَ الْأَمْرِ. We are not going to contest with the people of authority, upon their authority. We are not going to contest authority with the people of authority. When they said, is that what you want to do? Yes. Then we will not be accepting is when the command is a command to do a sin or a command to leave something that is obligated. For example, man, don't say Samuel or Torah. Everybody now should be doing zina. No Samuel or Torah. Samuel and Torah is regarding issues that are of ma'aruf. So 2 points today, inshallah. The first point is the point number 29. That he said, وَلَدَوْشُ مَا بِالْمَالِ إِمَرَائِ إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. War, jihad, will continue until the day of Qiyamah with the leaders of the Muslims. Al-Fajri, Al-Barri, Al-Fajri. Whether those leaders are righteous people or they are sinful people. La yufa. We are not going to abandon jihad, or we are not going to abandon the leaders. The second point, number 30. Said, وَقِسْمَةُ الْفَيْدِ. The distribution of the booties of war, وَإِقَامَةُ الْحُدُودِ, and then enforcing penalties, legal penalties in the Sharia, إِلَى الْأَئِمَّةِ بِالْعَدْلِ. It forever will be